In this Easter-themed English lesson, you're going to learn all about English Easter traditions, such as making and eating hot cross buns, having Easter egg hunts, and decorating eggs, which is something I used to love doing when I was a kid. Whether you're curious about British culture or you just want to know why chocolate eggs are such a big deal, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Easter is the most important Christian celebration. Before Easter, Christians observe a 40-day period called Lent. Lent is a time for reflection, or thinking deeply, prayer, talking to God, and self-discipline. Speaking of self-discipline, many people give something up, like chocolate, social media, or coffee. So if you give up something or give something up, you stop doing, using, or consuming it, either permanently or for a period of time. So when I was 32, I gave up smoking. Best thing I ever did, and I haven't smoked since. Traditionally, people gave up animal products like meat, dairy, and eggs. So this is one of the reasons why eggs are such a big thing at Easter, because for the 40-day period leading up to Easter, Lent, people wouldn't consume eggs. So they became a big part of the celebration because finally people could eat them again. Now let's talk about Holy Week. This is the week leading up to Easter Sunday, starting with Palm Sunday, which remembers Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem on a donkey. Then we have Maundy Thursday, which commemorates the Last Supper. So this was Jesus' last meal with his 12 disciples, and during the Last Supper, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples, which relates to a tradition that we still have nowadays, a royal tradition, where the king gives gifts of Maundy money to people for service to the church, one man and one woman for every year of the monarch's age. Nowadays, the people chosen are chosen for their service to the church, but in the past, the people chosen were poor, and the king used to wash their feet. So this is a tradition which shows the king being humble and washing the feet of his people, just like Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Then we have Good Friday, which marks the crucifixion, a solemn day for Christians. The crucifixion was the day that Jesus was killed on the cross, or crucified. And the adjective solemn means serious, often in a sad way. So this is a very solemn day for Christians. Then we have Easter Sunday, the joyful celebration of the resurrection. Joyful is an adjective that means very happy. And I just want to point out the suffix here, full. So when we add full to a word, it means filled with or full of. Beautiful, filled with beauty. Colourful, full of colour. Useful, full of use or uses. And just to point out the spelling, the suffix full has just one L, but the adjective full has two. Now let's talk about the resurrection. So this is a noun. The verb is to resurrect, to bring someone back to life. So Christians believe that on Easter Sunday, Jesus was resurrected or brought back to life. In honour of Easter, we have a bank holiday. So this is what we call a national holiday in the UK. They're typically 3 days, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So, well, the Monday is the bank holiday. That's the day that you typically get off work. But at Easter, most people get Good Friday and Easter Monday off work or school. So shops often close or have shorter hours on these days, and we have a lovely 4-day weekend. I just want to point out here that get or have the day off is the most typical way to say that you don't have to work. I've got the day off today. Happy day. Now let's talk about food. So hot cross buns are a very tasty tradition. Hot cross buns are sweet, spiced buns with raisins or currants and a white cross on the top. The white cross represents the crucifixion, so they were traditionally eaten on Good Friday, although nowadays people eat them all over the Easter period. What are raisins or currants? Well, raisins or currants are dried grapes. Currants are just a smaller variety, and they're often used in cooking. These days you can find all sorts of variations. You can get chocolate chip hot cross buns, orange zest, and also caramel. Delicious. Speaking of delicious food, chocolate Easter eggs. So this is another really big tradition. Children get Easter eggs from their parents on Easter Sunday, and it's one of the most popular Easter traditions nowadays. As well as the Easter egg, in England, the Lindt bunny is also really, really popular. Absolutely delicious chocolate. They do dark chocolate, so we don't say black chocolate, we say dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and also white chocolate. In the months leading up to Easter, it used to be weeks, but nowadays it really is months before. You start to see the shops fill with Easter eggs, and they get more and more elaborate each year. I'll just show you some of the ones that my brother has got for his kids. So, dark chocolate and nut flat egg. Actually, I think this is probably his egg. And then we've got milk ripple egg with honeycomb and pretzel. Honeycomb is this, in case you're wondering. Absolutely delicious. And double indulgence egg, salted blonde, and milk chocolate caramel. What is blonde chocolate? Well, blonde chocolate is caramelized white chocolate. So I don't think I've ever tried it. I think it would be too sweet for me. My favorite type of chocolate is dark chocolate. Definitely. Hands down. Speaking of chocolate, let's talk about chocolate nests. I used to love making these when I was a kid. Children make chocolate nests by mixing popular breakfast cereals such as cornflakes or shredded wheat with melted chocolate. So this is a nest, a bird's nest. These are cornflakes, and this is shredded wheat. Very popular breakfast cereals. And melted chocolate. What is melted chocolate? Well, if you melt something, that means that you turn something solid into something soft. So typically by applying heat, certainly in the case of chocolate, if you melt it, you heat it until it becomes liquid. So melted chocolate, mix in your breakfast cereal, and then leave it to cool in the shape of a nest. Delicious. Once you've made your chocolate nest, then typically you put little eggs inside, which are also made of chocolate, little mini eggs. Delicious. And speaking of eggs, Easter egg hunt. This is another very popular tradition, which actually comes from Germany. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this tradition originated with Queen Victoria, whose mother was of German descent. Small chocolate eggs are hidden around the house or garden by the Easter bunny, and children race to find as many as they can. So this is the Easter bunny. Why do we associate bunnies with Easter? Well, this is because traditionally bunnies or rabbits are associated with fertility, which relates to eggs and the whole idea of new life. As well as hunting for Easter eggs, we also decorate them. This was one of my favourite things to do at Easter when I was a kid. Children decorate eggs either hard-boiled or blown. So a hard-boiled egg is an egg that has been boiled, that is cooked in very hot water, boiling water, until it is hard. Not hard like a rock, but not soft on the inside. What's a blown egg? Well, a blown or blown out egg has had the inside blown out through a small hole. This is what my mum used to do. She would take a pin and make a small hole in the top and the bottom of the egg, and then take a straw and sort of gently blow the inside of the egg out through the hole. I always thought this looked incredibly difficult, and I've never tried to do it myself, but I was always amazed that she managed to do it without actually breaking the egg. Of course, if you can do it, then this is the best thing to do, because then you can keep the decorated egg. If it's hard boiled, sooner or later it's going to go bad and you'll have to throw it out. The final tradition that I'm going to tell you about also relates to eggs, and it is egg rolling or pace egging. In some parts of the UK, especially in the north of England and in Scotland, people take hard-boiled eggs and roll them down hills. Rolling the egg symbolises the angel rolling the stone away from the tomb. So as you can see, eggs are really important at Easter. First of all, because traditionally people didn't eat them during Lent, the 40 days before Easter. Also because they symbolise new life and the resurrection, and they also symbolise the stone that was blocking Jesus' tomb. So there you go. From chocolate eggs to egg rolling, the UK is full of Easter traditions. Which one surprised you the most? Or do you celebrate Easter differently in your country? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up, and why not subscribe for more? And hit the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. And I just want to say a big thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel, and have a very happy Easter. See you in the next video.